Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kazim Adeshina Duromu. Please permit me to start by saying this. I'm sorry for those who don't understand Yoruba. They said, Yoruba will say, Ogedem Baje, Esokpongpo. I'm standing in the middle because my comment is for both Buhari and GJ, but most importantly for all of us here. We wait every 4 years to start saying, we don't want this again, we don't want that again. But forgetting the fact that before the end of that 4 years, we have in our hands the mechanism to activate, to remove whoever we have elected wrongly. So, General Buhari, you want to come back and give us security. You are not talking about that. All you keep talking about is GJ did this, GJ did that. Tell us what you want to do. GJ, all you can tell us is a Boko Haram this, is a Boko Haram that. Tell us what you want to do and let's move on. So that if the two of you are not even worth it, we'll go elsewhere and look for somebody else.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Where's Mr. Buhama? Yes. Now I'm going to invite the two presenters to respond to the questions. But before that, we'll quickly have a description of what's going to happen with the polls.
Well, we don't have the result yet, but I just want to implore all of us, please, if you don't have this form, please can you signify so that you can have this election. We must do something. Thank you very much. Do something with this now. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. May I ask Mr. Bayo to give 5 minutes to round up? Respond to these questions and... oh, you want the slide? Okay, do you have the slide?
My second slide, please.
Okay, since the other side doesn't have a second slide, let him talk now while your slide is being read.
Okay. Quickly, I'm going to respond to one of the issues talked about, which is the issue of the fact that Buhari has always talked about, we've talked about integrity. First, somebody talked about the issue of certificate. I think it's ignorance to talk about the issue of certificate. If you look at that section of the Constitution that talks about eligibility, it even says that if you have primary school certificate and you've served the government in any capacity for 10 years, you are qualified. So the point is, he's been a military man for more than 10 years and he has primary school certificates. It is only Goodluck Jonathan, we don't know his what? His students, his age mates, people who went to school with him. People who went to school with Buhari have come out to say they did. Rockwell Beleke came here and was talking about the fact that the parliament destroyed Ribadu. Which people hold the parliament, who hold the majority in parliament? Same party, PDP, that has been in government for how many years? It is the same parliament that has Farouk Lawal, who went and put it. It's the same parliament that had Farouk Lawal, who went somewhere and put $620,000 in his cap. And nothing happened to him. He is still in the house now and has made laws. Now, it was the same. Why did Ribadu go? Because he was going to deal with Ibori. And immediately he left, Ibori did what? Put Farida Waziri there, who made sure that the FCC was dead. Let me also go and talk about, somebody said, Buhari says, I will jail, I will jail, I will jail. The same way that Goodluck Ebele Jonathan told us that 4 years is enough for anyone to make impact. And that if he does not do anything in 4 years, what should happen to him? Let me read it to you. He says, I would have loved that the Nigerian in diaspora vote this year, but to be frank with you, it's going to be difficult. Presently, the law does not allow voting outside Nigeria. So this year, Nigerians in diaspora will not vote. But I will work towards it by 2015, even though I will not be running for election. An unstable man, a double-minded man, is unstable in all his ways. He told us he wasn't going to contest. So when you see Buhari say, I will jail, that is passion talking. Even while he was military head of state, he did not drag anybody to jail. He took them to military tribunals, at least gave them fair hearing, right? Now, so let's look at it this way. There is no institution that the PDP and Jonathan have touched in Nigeria that remains the same. The army is a shadow of itself. Our navy is now Tom Polo. The last training aircraft of the Nigerian Air Force crashed in Ilorin last year. What are we talking about? So first, when you say you want to build institutions, a man must first set his face like flint and say, I'm going to build institutions. Not a man saying, look, I am going to corrupt institutions by putting people who are not even supposed to be there. How many of you have children in public schools? Yeah. With somebody like Nyesom Wike, you cannot. Just look at that man and say, that's the man. When we had people, let me tell you something about, they said Almajiri schools have been built. Abi? It's a lie. Babatunde Fafunwa started nomadic education. Remember. And that's what they have rechristened now to call Almajiri. Who is Almajiri? Why are we facing symptoms instead of diseases? Why is a child Almajiri? Poverty. So what are we talking about? So when people say that to me, I laugh,
round it up.
Okay? PTF undertook the largest refurbishment of schools ever done in Nigeria. When you don't have quality in your current schools and you build more, you are putting yourself in trouble. 9 additional universities that you cannot fund. When you cannot fund the current ones, and when they say he failed all exams, do you know I can agree? Well, I agree, but Jonathan passed all his exams. Let's leave that. What will Buhari do in education? The first thing is he was in charge of PTF. He knows the needs of Nigerian universities. I went to school in the 90s, so I know exactly what happened when I was in Ife. The school was renovated. They gave us books. They did everything right. So I believe he has the template to do that.
Please round it up.
Why he was overthrown by Babangida, that is naivety in question. The military is a tout chain of command. When you are overpowered, it is foolhardy to fight. And generals don't even fight. They order men to fight. When he was overthrown, he was around. And Idiagbon was not around. Even if Idiagbon were to be around, they would have been captured. Even the Babangida you are talking about was captured during the Oka coup, but he wasn't killed. So what happened? Let's stop talking about the military era as if they were supermen. Now, for those of you who think Buhari cannot change Nigeria, I am going to quickly refer you to Ghana.
Please, you need to round it up.
The Ghana that a lot of people go now and invest in. Who cleaned Ghana up? Jerry Rawlings.
As a military man.
Yes. Who cleaned Ghana out? Jerry Rawlings. He did far worse than you are accusing Baba. He lined up people who were the problems of Ghana and shot them. Now, we are not saying that's what's going to happen, but this is a new era, and we need to press the reset button
very much.
so that Nigeria can go forward. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. My opponent forgot to tell us that out of all the governorship aspirants right now on the platform of APC, 17 of them are from former PDP. So when you begin to talk about change, you begin to wonder what kind of change. A party that out of all the presidential aspirants, Kwakwanso was from PDP, hired from PDP, Atiku was hired from PDP, and almost all of them were hired from PDP. Okay, now, I want to give testimonials. That's how I want to end. Listen, and I want everybody to think. I want everybody to have an open mind. Eyes that look are common, but eyes that see are rare. Eyes that look are common, but eyes that see are rare. Is there something that some other people are seeing that we are not seeing? This is from CNN Money, just a few days ago. I'm sure if you have been reading newspapers, watching CNN, you would have seen this. By our estimates, the fastest growing economies in 2015 will be China, Qatar, Nigeria. This was not influenced by anybody. You can't influence CNN. This is from CNN Money. And the first 2 countries are developed countries. The third one is a developing economy. That's Nigeria. Is there something they are seeing that we are not seeing under the same Goodluck Jonathan? From the Library of the British House of Commons, this is also very recent. You can Google it. We talk about facts. Nigeria has consistently averaged over 7% real annual GDP growth under what you refer to as clueless President Jonathan. Restive Niger Delta has been relatively peaceful. He has not engaged in any frontal attacks on the formal institutions of democracy. In a lot of cases, he even lost elections. And you say he is doing impunity. His government lost in so many states. Even some people who were members of his cabinet went to do primaries, and they lost. And he never influenced it. Never. Not even for one moment. To the extent that Labaramaku had to the camp. He has signed the Freedom of Information Bill, the first ever in Nigeria. And it will interest you to know that no APC state has domesticated that bill. He signed the National Health Bill into law recently, and he created the Sovereign Wealth Fund. People are saying they are stealing money. They are stealing money. Every money that is from the revenue was shared by everybody, the president and the governors. They all got their share, and the president can account for how he spent his share, but let the governors under APC come and account for how they spent their own share. He also has significant infrastructural achievements to his name. Nigeria's Ebola outbreak was handled effectively. How I wish.
You have had your say. You have had your say. Please let him speak.
I hope I will have more minutes for this interruption. Okay. I hope, maybe it was Fashola that installed all those gadgets at all our airports. Maybe it was Fashola that sent money to all the major hospitals across Nigeria. You know? But this is from the House of Commons. You can Google it. From the Brookings Institution, this came out last week. Despite Boko Haram, the country is thriving. The country continues to grow, and with the rebasing of its GDP, became the largest economy in Africa and the 26th largest in the world. It's a British institution. Now, this is Bill Gates from his Twitter handle. One of my favorite stories of 2014, in just 1 year, Nigeria went from 50 polio cases to 6. Is this Fashola also? Now, World Health Organization declared Nigeria Guinea worm free in January 2014 for the first time ever in this nation under the watch of President Goodluck Jonathan. This came out just 2 days ago. It was even on channels last night. Wall Street Journal, that is the most authoritative business journal in the world. You cannot influence it. It is not Punch, it is not Guardian. And this is what they said. They rate Nigeria as the most watched frontier market on January 15, 2015. Despite facing multiple challenges, Nigeria continues to attract more interest from multinationals than other frontier market economies. Figures don't lie. You cannot argue against results. What they did was they surveyed multinationals all over the world. All over the world. And this was the result. Nigeria was rated higher than Vietnam, Kenya, Argentina, Saudi Arabia, Tanzania, Ethiopia, Venezuela, Angola, Ghana that all of you are running to, Tunisia, Botswana, and even Kuwait. I'm rounding up now. Under Jonathan, Nigeria for the first time achieved and has been sustaining Category 1 certificate of the Federal Aviation Authority. If you don't know what this means, it was under Jonathan that a Nigerian registered aircraft first of all flew directly from Nigeria to the United States of America. This is what they said about Ebola.